Dan and I have started a journey from unemployment to lifting the Champions League. And after an early struggle with promotion, Dad's hitting his stride at Southampton. And in the meantime, I've had a great start at life with Montpellier, where I found my best buddy Daniel, the 6'7" Norwegian striker who cost me just £4 million. And he's been tearing it up here in France, becoming the league's top scorer in the last 2 seasons. Enough about Daniel though, because after reaching the European Cup final, the finances are still bad here, and I don't know how far I can take this side. Although Dad has spent money, he's thinking the same thing as me, and that might be the time to step up from Southampton into a bigger role. But right now, there are only jobs at a similar level or below available to us. As we stretched into August though, another 2 jobs came up that we both got excited about, Ajax and Monaco, but a long story short, neither side even invited us in for an interview. So our focus instead turned to our seasons at the clubs we were currently at, with a close eye on the job market in case anything pops up throughout the season that might tempt us. And for now, the race to the Champions League lingers on what seems to be the next movement job-wise. Right, Dad, at the start of the season then, we are still with the same clubs,
yes,
but not by choice.
No.
By the looks of it. I mean, we're both at a situation now where we're possibly thinking moving elsewhere would be better for us. In our pursuit, of course, at the end of the day, to be the first one to lift the Champions League. That's our end goal.
Definitely,
it's a race.
I just don't think Southampton are good enough to be in the Champions League, let alone winning the Champions League. So
no,
I feel I need to move. So
yeah, and I'm the same with Montpellier. I don't think financially I can get the team to the Champions League to begin with. As much as Daniel is our Lord and Saviour and potentially the best player in the world. However, he has also picked up an injury. We shouldn't panic about it too much. It's not career defining. We're all good. Daniel should be fine. He's actually started the season with 6 goals in 4 games. Ooh. Lovely stuff. But as you can see, my start of the season, I have qualified for Europe, but I have lost 2 games in the league as well. I mean, I have faced PSG in one of the games, so that's kind of expected.
Yeah.
But what a disappointing loss to Reims. 95th minute.
Ooh.
Taylor Booth scored. Which is very disappointing. It was a back and forth game, and Daniel scored 2 in that one as well. But nevertheless, we've won 2. We're in Europe next season, the Europa Conference League, which we know can help with the reputation being seen worldwide, obviously, through these European competitions. That's great. And transfer budget-wise, I haven't really spent that much either. If we're looking at players I've brought in, Andy Stockbridge for £1.3 million is basically my only signing with money. He's quite good, to be fair, in that midfield. I felt like our midfield was just lacked depth more than anything. But you can see I did sell a couple of players, but I've only got 15% transfer revenue.
You're giving them away, really, ain't you?
That's it. So, I mean, I've sold potentially my best player from the last couple of seasons outside of Daniel and Ellertson, because he's 32, for 4.7. And then Alcaraz, which is not the tennis player, another midfielder, going for 5.75, and I've just had to bring in like loan signings. We've got Nathan Simcock here, who's a good midfielder. Obviously, we brought in Andy Stockbridge, another good midfielder, and then just 2 free transfers. So we don't have the facilities to get better, and that's what I'm looking at right now with this side. I'm kind of thinking, I don't think we're going to get any further. I can't change tactically because I ain't got any money to bring anybody in.
No.
So we're going with what we have from last season with a couple of changes and arguably a weaker side compared to last season. And just hope Daniel can stay fit because he's out for 4 weeks here. But hopefully when he comes back, we can start scoring some goals again. Dad.
Yeah.
You're still at Southampton.
Yep.
You've had some big windows. This one wasn't that, for a change.
For a change, yeah. Well, I've just felt now's the time that I've got to start buying players better than what I've got.
Yeah.
So I've got to be a bit more choosy of what I'm buying. I've got a smaller squad. I think I've got rid of all the ones I really don't need. So I've got a smaller squad, which I do like working with smaller squads.
Yeah.
And so now I'm being a bit choosy of what I buy now, yeah.
Yeah, you got Sarenko, who's gone for £15 million, which helped raise your budget a little bit. If we're looking at players at the end of the season here, Stephen Hayes came in June, which was a big signing, £26 million from Bournemouth.
Yeah.
It's a good centre-back, though.
Good centre-back, yeah. Both feet as well, but stronger on the left-hand side. So we always do try and get a left-sided player back in as soon as we can, really. So, and he's a good Premiership player, which is what I need now.
Yeah, and he classes as homegrown because obviously he came through the English academies. ex-Arsenal. But it's like you do it on purpose.
Do you know what I do? When I start hunting, I get my scouts and I say, right, every Arsenal player you know, find them first.
Yeah, because they, to you, are the best team in the world. Now, we've also got Anthol Stultz from Kaiserslautern, £1.2 million as a good backup goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And then finally, Anthony Duffy from Leeds, £41 million.
Yes.
So it was right back or left back?
Right back or left back, yeah, plays both sides. Good Premier League player. So, as you can see, I'm starting to improve the players that I've got now. I've got to spend a bit more money on doing that, but they're ready-made. He's already a Premier League player. So that's ideal for me.
So tactically, looking at it, going for this offset 4-4-2 again with Gold, because obviously he's arguably your best player out on that wing.
He's world class, this winger. He's almost as good as your Daniel, really, I reckon.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
With a couple of strikers, of course, Dell and Noonan up front, still with Bergvall in the midfield. So still a decent side. Obviously, you've also qualified for Europe next season because you've got past Rio Ave. So good start to the season. Yeah. In terms of actual fixtures, you've lost one Premier League game, drew one, and won one. So the loss to Aston Villa at home, 88th minute, which is disappointing, obviously.
Yeah, definitely,
the draw to Brighton, again, you took the lead 3 times in that game.
I was a bit disappointed with that because it's not a local derby, but they are quite close in proximity in the country, so we'd be very disappointed that we lost that game. Drew that game.
Yeah, and now in the Europa Conference League, even though we're both in it, we're not playing each other just yet.
No.
Maybe we'll meet in the final. Who knows? But yeah, we are both in there. But if we're looking at the clubs that are in there, I would say probably Frankfurt, Napoli are the only 2 sides really that you look and worry.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. That's the only 2 teams I feel that could cause me any problems.
Yeah, in terms of reputation, aren't bigger than certainly what we are at the minute.
I mean, they're going to be looking at that and seeing my team as a Premier League team being the team to beat.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. All right, then. Well, let's see what happens in season number 7, because I know I've got my eye on potentially moving this season if something pops up, and I think Dad is thinking the same way. So this Europa Conference League may mean nothing at the end of the day, even though I got to the final of it last season. My eyes are kind of looking elsewhere for that next step, because it's not the Europa Conference League we're here to win. We're here to win the Champions League. This season was not going as planned. Maybe the distraction to trying to move has hindered my ability to manage what we already have. After some bad form, especially in the league, you can see where Daniel was injured, my Montpellier side found themselves in a bit of a scrap for relegation. Dad was actually thriving still in Southampton though, and really enjoying himself. Sitting second in the table of the Premier League with Aston Villa in the top spot, and doing well in the Europa Conference League, in which we are both in. That's when, though, a job opportunity came up as Borussia Dortmund sacked their manager and are now down in 8th place. Unfortunately, though, they dismissed me almost immediately. So business continues, and although Daniel is the league's top scorer at the minute, we are still sat in 13th place. Dad's form has dropped way off as well, as he fell down the table from 2nd place down to 9th. But there were more jobs popping up, including Spurs and Rangers, that both of us have our heads turned towards, and I applied for both. Dad, on the other hand, just applied for the Spurs job. Now, Tottenham Hotspur was never interested in me and outright rejected, but I was brought in to interview for the Rangers role. And Dad was brought into his dream job to interview for Spurs. And both of our hearts were broken pretty soon after, though, as both jobs did not see us as the right fit, and we once again remained where we were. That was until April, where, while Dad was preparing for a quarter-final Conference League match against Frankfurt, I had just applied for the Atletico Madrid job and never thought I would ever be considered, but here we are. And after dazzling them in the interview clearly, I have somehow landed the job at the 3rd biggest club in Spain, who is massively underperforming and still has a fantastic team right now. They're currently sat in 9th place, and I've set up a very basic 4-3-3 to try and climb up as many positions as possible in the last 7 games. Although for me there was a lot of teething problems, draws and an exit from the Europa League, there was indeed good news for Dad, because he was drawn very favourably in the semi-final of the Europa Conference League against Leuven from the Belgian League and managed to win 7-0 to face Napoli in the final. And probably nobody expected the result that we got in that final. After an exciting start and a great first goal, Napoli equalised within 15 minutes of kickoff, and that was when the gears were shifted and Southampton went on to just keep scoring goals. as Dad's side went in 3-1 at half-time and finished the game as European champions and 5-1 winners. Well, what a win in Vienna.
Yes.
Really good stuff there, Dad. Obviously doing something that I couldn't do last year.
Yeah. Napoli as well, one of the teams we did mention.
Yeah. I could be the biggest in that competition.
Yeah. And Frankfurt really won it, so...
Stuffed them.
Absolutely stuffed them. Yeah, really pleased with that.
I bet you're kind of happy now that you were rejected from those jobs, like Tottenham, for instance.
I'm looking at the league table now and thinking, why did I even apply for the Tottenham job? You know,
yeah.
I mean, where are they? 12th, is it, I think?
Yeah, 12th place. You finished
I've come in
6th.
So, and they turned me down, and I've just gone and won a European trophy as well.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Not too bad at all.
I'm really pleased with that season then.
Yeah. I mean, what's quite funny is at some points you were actually second throughout this season behind Aston Villa. Even Norwich are doing very well. Norwich in 67 points. But halfway through the season, it was like you're in a title race at some point.
Yeah.
The drop-off was drastic. It was very quick. But I think what people might not have seen is that from 3rd down to like 6th and 7th, it was all really close at that point. So only a few games dropped and you're all of a sudden miles behind.
You're looking at 2 points, 4th place from 7th. So anything could have happened, really.
That's it. By the looks of Man City ran away with it. 13 points by the end. But
great season. I'm pleased with that.
Oh, 100%. European trophy. After obviously trying to leave, you're probably quite glad that you stuck around for now.
Well, yeah, that was my reputation, didn't it?
Well, yeah, for sure. Your reputation now up to 3.5 star. It was only 3-star beforehand, so that's brilliant. In terms of how the team performed, I mean, Anthony Boyer should be getting a statue outside of the stadium.
Yeah, he should do, really, shouldn't he?
35 goals in 36 starts with 9 off the bench and 11 assists.
I mean, in the Premier League, that's brilliant.
Very good stuff indeed.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Considering at one point he was barely even playing games because he couldn't get a work permit. Yeah. He's doing all right now. Della Noonan also chipping in as well. James Baker and Stephen Gold, your winger, your star winger, getting 21 assists. Very good season.
That's what he's there for. Yeah. So him. The front 3 or 4, I'm quite happy with that. That's really decent. So
yeah, look how many he's wanted.
I know. That's the worrying thing now, isn't it? But then when you're in the Premier League and they're doing well, other teams are going to be sniffing around them, aren't they? So,
absolutely. Okay, so you got £21 million, but over the wage budget. But we're still in May, so the budget might not be 100% accurate as what it is. What is accurate, though, is I did indeed leave. I have landed here in Madrid after getting rejected left, right and centre all over the place by, let's face it, less reputable clubs, and then somehow land in Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Shocked. I was definitely shocked, but we managed to do it. We've been given £16 million and a good wage budget, but there's already some areas of the side that I think I could save money there and bring like extra cash in. For instance, Julian Alvarez is on 375 grand a week, and he's wanted.
And he's 35.
He's 35. I think we can say goodbye to Julian Alvarez after his 10 years at the club, and potentially welcome in a lot more money in cash, because that is ridiculous wages that I would like to get off the wage bill. He is nearly double what Conor Gallagher is, who is also 35, by the way. So after that, the wages seem absolutely fine. If you think Atletico Madrid, quite a big club, and the 3rd highest wage is only on 105 grand a week, that's not bad at all.
No.
I could bring in a couple of players who maybe are a little bit more than that, and I would say our wages will be quite healthy. So potentially looking at getting rid of both Julian Alvarez or Conor Gallagher, although both of them are high in terms of the dynamics in the leadership, the social groups and stuff like that. Team, the hierarchy, that's what I'm looking for. Both of them are up there. So I don't think getting rid of both is an option this season, but I do think Julian Alvarez could be gone, and we just keep Conor Gallagher, not to disrupt the hierarchy too much. I think that's probably smart, and then just sort of weed him out of the club in terms of just not playing him as much anymore. But I think that's the best way to go. Now, I took over just after they lost to Real Madrid, so from that point on, we got through the Europa League, and as you can see, we only actually lost games in the Europa League. We didn't lose in the league, but we did draw 4 games, which might have cost us in terms of progressing too high. But we did land 7th place in the Europa Conference League competition you've just won.
Yeah.
So if I do manage to pull off a nice little victory in that next season, I'll be buzzing. I mean, Girona doing very well in this division.
Definitely, yeah.
splitting the two of Barcelona and Real Madrid. Barcelona are really underperforming. Real Madrid are really overperforming. Endrick actually scoring the most goals in the season. But this team is okay. I think there's certain players that we can definitely build upon and build around. There is a few Asian players that I need to sort of look into. You can see even going all the way down here, there's players 30 or above who are mainly in the first team. That's 13 players and a lot of wages. So I think it's going to be a busy summer for me, for sure, getting rid of some players, because some of them aren't even playing either, and where I can have a nice, exciting summer and start bringing in some youth, because I think that's what they're missing here. They're 21 years of age. Is the youngest, best player is this guy here. This is who I think building the team around is the smart move. He is phenomenal. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He come through the youth academy as well, which even better. That's a future captain there for me. His leadership's 13. It's not too bad. That's a future captain for me. I need to build the team around him. Then who knows? This could be a stepping stone still, or it could be the basis of a team that I could take quite far into the Champions League. I'm excited for it. Has my move to Atletico Madrid worried you?
Yes. Basically, because like you just said, you can get into the Champions League with this team.
Yeah.
I don't think... I was going to say Spurs. I don't think Southampton are good enough to get into the top 3. Is it in England to be in the Champions League?
About 4 or 5.
Top 4, yeah. So I still think I need about 4 or 5 seasons of really good budgets to sort of build that team to get anywhere near that before I can start even playing in the Champions League.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm in the Europa League next season because I won the
Conference League.
If I win the Europa League,
yeah, you go straight into it.
I'm straight into it.
Yeah.
I'm in with a chance, but. No, I think I'm still with Southampton. I still think I'm 2 or 3 seasons away of even thinking about getting in there. Where you could be in there next season, really.
Yeah.
You have a good season, and if you could sell a few of your players and get a few more bob in, you could be buying some really good players and pushing you. All right, you probably won't finish first or second, but you could be pushing them.
Yeah.
All the way.
It might be easier to win the Champions League than win the league in this division.
100%. That could be like playing in France, couldn't it?
Like playing in France,
yeah.
Exactly. You've also just given me a very good idea for a challenge where you have to win the Europa Conference League, the Europa League, and then the Champions League in back-to-back years.
That could be hard, really good.
That will be class. It'll
Yeah.
be so difficult because obviously the second season, if you finish the Champions League spots, you won't go into the Europa League.
Yeah.
But that is a fun experiment. I might have to write that one down, and you might see that one come on the channel very soon. So subscribe if you haven't done so. But yes, let's go into the summer then. I think I'm going to have a very busy one. I think Dad might have a busy one too. I know you're all desperate to have a look. What jobs are available? Now, we haven't got an international competition either. That helped a lot last season. There are some big clubs in here that I think my dad will be very interested in applying
I can see 2 straight away.
Well,
Newcastle.
Arsenal's not there.
Newcastle and Milan.
Newcastle and Milan. Yeah, those are the 2 that I thought.
Yeah,
There's also Napoli, who's insecure as well.
Yeah,
after you just beat them.
That's a possibility. Yeah. I mean, I still think I might be not good enough as a manager to take those 2 jobs, but I will be applying.
All right, then, let's see what happens this summer. Dad did indeed apply for both the Newcastle and the Milan jobs in hopes that one of them could take a chance on him like Atletico did with me. Just a week later, though, and more appealing jobs began to appear as PSG and Monaco in France, in which Dad both applied for. While Dad was doing that, though, I was making sure to stay true to my word and sign some younger talent for my squad. As well of course, selling Julian Alvarez to Al Ahly and removing that massive wage from my wage bill to bring in new talent like Bergara. It was bad news for Dad though, as all the jobs came back unsuccessful and pretty much without even an interview as well. So he had to focus on signing better players, and he even signed a Newcastle player after they just rejected him. Now with Julian Alvarez going, a lot of you are probably expecting me to give Daniel a call to come to Madrid this season to join me at Atletico. Well, you'd actually be all incorrect. Don't get me wrong, it crossed my mind, but I decided to sign this Uruguayan striker Silveira from Fulham, who is also 6'5", 2 inches shorter than Daniel and probably technically a better player than Daniel, and he certainly hit the ground running in La Liga as well, banging in a hat-trick on the opening day of the season. Well, Dad, if you cannot get the Newcastle job, just start buying all their players.
100%. That's what one of the reasons why I was going to go to that team. He's a good young DM, so I couldn't get their job to take him, so I thought I'd just get him myself, and I'm going to put him straight in my team.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's 23, so he might not get into the starting 11, but I'll make sure he is in the starting 11, and he'll get better. Give him the playing time.
He looks very good.
Yes.
£45 million. He wasn't the only signing, though. We got a couple of more. Nelson Viper.
Yes. I'll get this guy. I mean, he's 30 years of age now, but whenever we see this guy, we'll try and get him because he will score goals for you. So it was a no-brainer for me, really. I need another person who I can guarantee to get me 20, 30 goals. I reckon this guy would do it for me.
I mean, he's been playing in the Premier League for a long time, scoring lots of goals. You can see 18, 15, 12 for Wolves, who haven't exactly been at the top of the table.
No.
So, and when he was in the Championship, he got 26. Yeah. Unbelievable.
I mean, I think it was a bargain, 24 million for him. I know he's 30, but I'll take that.
And then we got Luka Vrbancic.
Another centre midfielder, so yeah, just in case I get any injuries in there. But this guy would probably be pushing for first team place, I think.
Yeah. So tactically then, you're setting up in a 4-3-3, but instead of the left winger, you got two strikers, of course, because you brought in Nelson Viper and you got Boyer as well.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I mean, as we said, Martinez doesn't go in.
Yeah, Vincent Day will be there, so Martinez will be my starting 11.
Yeah, that would be what I would be looking at as like your best 11 there, really. Because I think that's very close to. I mean, your keeper has been there for a while. He's developed quite well. Boyer was unbelievable last season. Probably don't deserve to be dropped.
No.
But Dell is very good, and he has 4 in 4 so far because he's a cracking player.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, the problem you get is when you sort of like you got one really good striker, you don't want to lock a second one in. Because you might as well just leave him and let him fight it out there, because you know the one striker will be getting the place all the time. Let the other two fight the other place out. So that's what I'm doing, really. So
the start of the season, you lost one game away from home against Palace. It wasn't a bad game, though, by any stretch. Only 2-1. The rest of the fixtures, though, very good. I mean, we looked at Norwich and how good they were last season.
Yep.
You beat them 6-0.
Yeah, and then you look at the team, the boys who's actually scored the goal. Dell's come in and got 4.
Yeah, those are the 4 that we mentioned. So
yeah,
got 4.
So you got him in one game.
Everton as well. I mean, Lucas Bergvall got 4 in that one.
So they're all the goals are coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
And Martinez has got onto the score sheet there as well, so I'm really pleased with that. Good start. I'm really happy now.
Yeah, you got the Europa League games coming up, so there's your opportunity to get into the Champions League as well as another competition. What's been going on at Atletico, though? Because as I said, it was a big summer for me, and I did sell quite a lot of players. We can see the big names that have gone out. Julian Alvarez is the biggest. I managed to get more money than I thought I would for him too. £10 million, just short of £10 million, plus the wages off the wage bill. But he's happy. He's on £1.4 million a week at Al-Ali. So have yourself a party there, Julian Alvarez. I'll come over and we can celebrate together, because now you've got a lot of money. I managed to get you off of the wage bill here. We're all happy. Yeah. We are all happy. And it allowed me to really splash out this summer, because as you can see, a lot of players did leave. If we're just going by the 2035 time frame, which is where I was selling players, all of these players plus the £2.4 million there, and I spent quite big as well. So starting things off, I needed a winger, £4.3 million Ericsson. He was on the next gen list that we seen. I remembered he played for Bodo Glimt, so I went there straight away and started scouting him, and our scouts rated him very highly, so I decided to bring him in. 18-year-old Norwegian, just 4.3 million. Starts, he's got 3 goals, 3 assists, and a player of the match, and he's 18. He might be a Norwegian who is going to be putting the ball on the head for my friend Daniel.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Oh, and I bet you're all expecting me to sign Daniel, but I haven't. I've resisted. Bello Balogun for £20 million is a really good left back. Again, only 21. Chelsea were very reluctant to sell him. I managed to get a deal done eventually, so that's a good one. Jose Maria from Valencia. I managed to get quite a few Spanish wonder kids in here as well. He's got a bit of an injury, but that's okay. He's 22 years of age. Centre midfielder, centre attacking midfielder. I think he looks great, to be honest. So really good player there. Joseba Martin for £15 million. Needed a new right back. Our right back was quite old, so we sold him. We brought in Joseba, who's only 21 as well. So this is like sort of the age range that I'm looking for. 21 to 23, really. Gonzalo Bergara from Peñarol, though, £3.8 million. Another really good centre mid from Uruguay. 25 years of age. Picked up another injury, but it's not for long. Again, physically great. Very good all-rounder midfielder. And then finally, we've got Matteo Silvera from Fulham. £55 million. You might recognise the name. It's the one that both me and Dad tried to go for a couple of seasons ago before he went to Fulham. It's another Uruguayan. They have some great players that have come through. He is fantastic, and he's now my new striker.
Mustard.
Yeah. He's the reason why I didn't sign Daniel, if I'm honest. £55 million. £5 million was what Fulham got him for 2 seasons ago. So they've really 10 times their money. But he's got 7 in 4.
Yeah.
7 in 4 already. He is 6'5", which is the reason why I went for him instead of Daniel, because I think he's a better all-round player than Daniel. Just don't tell Daniel that, because we're still on really good terms and still good buddies. And I want him to come to my birthday party. But I think Matteo Silvera is technically a better player who will suit this division more. Schedule. We're currently top of the league. We have drawn a game, but that was in Europe, in the Europa Conference League, which we qualified for. But we've played some tricky fixtures, including the Madrid derby at the Bernabeu, and we defeated them 3-2.
It's 3-0 up at one stage.
Yeah.
What a result that is.
Excited.
What a result that is.
I am excited. I don't know how long this is going to last.
Already?
Yeah. Bilbao was another good victory as well, so that's always tricky. And a Sevilla 3-0 hammering. Oh, we're off to a cracking start. So I'd like to think I could do very well in the Europa Conference League because, again, if you're looking at the clubs that are in it, Bologna possibly is a big Italian side. Brighton's in there as well. But outside of that, this is mine to lose, surely.
Definitely.
Wolfsburg, possibly. I've got to be winning this competition this season, which will make it 3 times in a row. One of us has made it to the final as well. But we'll see what happens because I'm excited now that I've got this Atletico Madrid job. But will Dad stay at Southampton? Let's find out. As much as I think we improved the team, we were struggling to make an impact in La Liga against the bigger sides, and they just were a step above us in the games and in the table. Dad was flying in the Premier League and in Europe, but was constantly keeping his eyes open for any jobs that might be of interest. A standout player for him this season was Lucas Bergvall, who was not only solid in midfield, but was popping up with some really important goals. The second half of the season, my Atletico side began to gel better together, especially in Europe, as we reached the quarter-finals of the competition with Standard Liège ahead. Dad was also in the quarters too of not only the Europa League, but also the FA Cup. In April, I managed to put Atletico into the semi-final of the Conference League with a 3-0 aggregate win, as did Dad in the Europa League thanks to an 8-0 away win against Nice in the quarter-finals. But he also managed to get to the FA Cup final thanks to Nelson Viper's 97th minute winner penalty. However, this was just when Dad's head was turned again, because look at that, Tottenham Hotspurs popped up again, managerless. While he was waiting for a response though after his application, Southampton were eliminated from the Europa League in the semi-finals, and Dad took his side to another top 6 finish. And my Atletico Madrid side were beaten Hajduk Split to take us into the Conference League final, finishing just in 5th place in La Liga though, with Silvera taking home the golden boot after scoring 24 goals. Over to the FA Cup final as Dad's side went 2-0 up within 3 minutes, but this game had so many goals it was ridiculous, and he will be very disappointed because he went into extra time. There was another 3 goals being scored, and Sunderland scored in the 121st minute to lift the trophy. So I was hoping for a much better experience in my final, and I also managed to pick up a 2-goal lead thanks to the Turkish right winger Demir being clinical and scoring 2 in the first 20 minutes. Brighton, my opponents, did bounce right back actually, scoring their first just 3 minutes later, but thankfully for me, it was also their last. Well, I said I would go and win it. I did.
I mean, you spoke about Brighton being probably the only team that's going to cause you any trouble.
Yeah.
Beat him in the final.
Beat him in the final. Not too bad at all. So I'm happy with that. Demir has got 2 goals. He's a fantastic player for me. He was one of the players that was already at the club, but still a player I wanted to build the side around. Hajduk Split in the semi-final, quarter-final against Standard Liège. Again, all these clubs, Bologna 6-0. So I mentioned them, then Bologna 6-0. It's all these clubs I would expect to beat anyway. And we managed to do that. We actually had a bit of a tough time in the group stage because we drew to Utrecht and Standard Liège, but we won 4 games. Overall, it's not too bad at all. It's a good job, really, because we finished down in 5th, and I thought at some point our job might be at risk. So we might have to look at things next season because somehow Valencia and Girona are... I mean, Girona nearly won the league, look.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable how well they've done.
Yeah.
But it's funny how Real Madrid are there and not Barcelona.
Yeah.
So
the other way around last season.
It was. We'll have to see, because it feels like it's a lot more tighter at the top now. I just need to break into it.
You think at the start that you had, you think you were in for a right chance, and you look at the final season, and it looks like you weren't even in it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
really?
I dropped off down to 6th place for quite a long period of the time, up into 5th, and that's where I finished.
Really, I'm pleased, because it's another season not in Europe, in the Champions League, so gives me another season to work with.
Yeah, semi-final of the Copa del Rey as well. I mean, reputation-wise, it's going to help me because I've won that European competition. It's a 4-star reputation now. But you can see already 39 goals from 60 games. Matteo Silvera, I locked him in the end, and he's done very well for me because, I mean, he's a quality player, and the money was needed. We spent the money, £60 million. He got 24 goals for us this season. Hopefully, another season like that, he's kind of paid himself back. And Eriksson, who was the 18-year-old Norwegian winger, we locked him in too. More for developmental purposes, but he did get 15 assists and 11 goals across the season. Again, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
Cannot be disgruntled about, how he's performed. I'm really buzzing with how he's done that. Demir, who scored the 2 goals in the final, he plays on the right-hand side. He's a Turkish player that was already here, but he was very good this season. So it's all these players, that I'm building the team around for next season. And I've only got 11 million, but a big wage budget. So again, I can play around with it if I wish. We've got a bloated side. There's so many players here. There's a lot of players who didn't play that many games that I can just get rid of. Bring in somebody, if I get rid of 3 players, my aim is to bring in just 1 player as a replacement.
Yeah.
For that. Whether it's, somebody who's better for the first team, somebody who's going to be better in the future. That's my thinking for this side, because I'm not really interested in moving clubs. However, Dad is, and we are still waiting right now to hear from that Spurs application that you put in.
I've given them a second chance. They went best part of probably about the last final sort of 6 weeks with not happy with their manager, and then they finally sacked him.
Yeah.
So I jumped in and applied for him. There was a couple of other teams that were unsecure coming near the end of the season. I was waiting for as well, but Spurs were the only side that actually decided to do it. So I've jumped in again. I'm going to give him a second chance. This could be the final chance they get with me coming to him.
Yeah.
If I don't get this time, I'll probably won't do it again then with him.
Their manager history is hilarious, by the way. So after it was, it's obviously, remember, for a long time, we went 5 years into the future before we started this. Thomas Frank left after 3 years. He was sacked. Then it was Roberto Mancini for 209 days. Then it was Stojkovic, who lasted 74 days. Then it was Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe had a good time. He lasted nearly 3 years. Didn't win anything, though. Then it went to Ryan Mason, who did win a UEFA Super Cup, which shocks me, because how do they get in the UEFA Super Cup when none of these managers actually won a European Cup?
Yeah.
It was Europa League. So he won the Europa League, Ryan Mason there. Craig Dawson was then the manager for nearly 2 years. He's Aston Villa manager at the minute. He's doing all right, to be fair. We don't know what he's going to be like as a manager. But then you had Raul for a year. So that's quite interesting.
What
he's
a
currently
legend
unemployed.
he is.
Yeah,
You loved him, didn't you?
Oh, such a good player.
Yeah.
One of my favourite players from the 90s and 2000s, Raul. But then, when obviously you applied for it last year, neither of us got the job. Simone Inzaghi took over. And he was sacked after just 334 days. So he didn't even make a year. So they are currently looking for a manager after an 11th place finish. They've got some good players, like this key player, who is, by God, unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
29 goals for England. He's that good in 58 games. So, but nowhere near you in terms of the league table.
This is the thing. I've done it again. I've finished above them. So last season I finished above them and won a European trophy. This season I've done it again. I've finished above them. So
yeah,
and I've got to the semi-final.
FA Cup of the runners-up.
Yep. FA Cup lost in the final to Sunderland, which I'm really disappointed with. But I got to the semi-final of the Europa League against Gladbach. Oh, whenever I get into the Bundesliga, they are my bogey side.
Yeah.
And it proved it again, even though I'm not in there. So I'm really disappointed with that. I felt I might have gone all the way. And I got to the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup as well. So I class that as a really good season.
Yeah.
I would be thinking that some teams have got to be looking at me what I'm doing with this team. So
I'd say so.
Yeah.
They'd also be looking to go, how is Bergvall as top scorer in the
I know,
league?
it's
14.
I'm surprised with that as well. So, yeah. But I'll take that.
I mean, he isn't the top scorer overall. Anthony Boyer got 26 goals this season. Bergvall got 24 with 14. But then, obviously, it's just cup games that Boyer managed to score more. 23 from Dell, 23 from Viper, 20 from Stephen Gold with 21 assists. Spreading it around, which is kind of good, to be honest.
I've got 5 players there who's over the 20 yet, and Nelson Viper didn't let me down, so he got me over the 23, like I said he would do.
Yeah.
So that was money well spent, I felt.
All right, so transfer budget is £50 million at the minute. Should you stay with Southampton?
This is the thing now. If I don't get the Spurs job, 50 million is a lot of money, and I've got a few players that I could still sell to sort of build it up again. And if I just keep bringing in 1 or 2 players that are sort of world class, I'm building a really good side.
Yeah.
So I could get to a stage in a minute where I might just change my mind and just say, right, I'm going to go for it.
Well, even after the last 2 years you've been going, Southampton aren't good enough to get into the Champions League.
But this time they've backed me off. I feel 50 million. They've started backing me now.
You had over 100 million in the Championship.
I know that, but I've got them into the Premier League. I've won a European Championship, so I haven't let them down, have I? But I feel now I'm in the Premiership. They're backing me now with 50 million, and I've started improving the squad. So if I don't get the Spurs job, I might just stay then.
All right. Well, Spurs themselves don't have the best finances at the minute.
No.
So if you did go to Spurs, they might have a better team, but they don't necessarily have. I
feel that I could do something with that squad this season.
Yeah, some quality players in there.
I'd be disappointed with that squad that I don't finish in the top 5.
All right. What do you think? Look at him. Look how good he is.
No.
That's a secondary striker.
This is the thing, isn't it? When you got players like that, they should be in the top 4, I reckon. So
he's unbelievable.
You should be looking at Champions League the following season.
Right.
Easily.
What do you think then Dad should do? Do you think Dad is going to get that Tottenham Hotspur job? If he doesn't, does he stick around at Southampton while I am quietly building quite a good team here at Atletico Madrid with money to spend to keep improving it? Let us know down in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss the next episode of the race to the Champions League after we started this journey unemployed.